Good morning, Remax. Kenny here again with our final class for the social media boot camp. It's been a good run. I feel like we've covered a lot of topics. Most of those are, well, all of those are in the playlist, which I shared last week to the all agent email. I will be adding this final class and then editing a few of those videos just to get them a little more touched up, and then send that playlist out one more time and maybe even possibly create a little website for this. And I believe this will be in the Remax tools via Mike Regilio. He will put that in the Remax tools for everyone. And you guys can reference this as much as you'd like to. I know that we zipped through a lot of information really quick. Trying to squeeze each of these classes into an hour has been, I wouldn't say so much a struggle, but I would say that because I know what I'm doing, I'm flowing through it fairly quickly, and you guys, I would think, would have to rewind and back up a few times just to like catch up. So thus the playlist with all these videos in it. So we'll get that out to you guys. Anyways, okay, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to just cover everything today. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about maintaining and keeping your digital image in shape with social media daily and weekly plan. So we'll just kind of bounce back and forth between, when you should be posting, what social medias also share to other ones. Like when you post on Instagram, you can make it automatically share to Facebook and Twitter when you're in there. Or when you're on YouTube, you can add that video to Pinterest, right? Or when you're on posting via Hootsuite, you can post to almost all of these, but some of them can be left out. Like Twitter can often be left out because, number one, our character length will be too long when we're posting. Let's say I want to post to Facebook and Twitter. Well, it can't be the same post because one, I can have a bunch of characters on Facebook, and one, I can only have a few on Twitter. So they need to be formatted differently. Thus, the scheduling needs to be different. So, okay. Let's pop this guy open and go ahead and get into, let's see. Let's just jump right into Hootsuite real quick. Talk about a couple things. This is our scheduler. We talked about this earlier. This is how we make social media as easy as possible, as streamlined as possible, as efficient as possible. And what you do here, you get a free account and you can sign up, I think, like, well, number one, you can get a free 30-day trial of Pro, which is great if you have, over 10 social media profiles, because I think you can have a free one on here for up to 10 profiles. So that should cover your Facebook, your Twitter, your Google Plus, your LinkedIn. Hootsuite does not post to everything. It does not post to Instagram. It does not post to Pinterest, but it will post to those other main headliners right there that we just mentioned. All right, so that's Hootsuite. I want to just kind of talk about some sharing times on social media, like what are the best times to share on each one. But let's go ahead and just review real quick Hootsuite. I apologize if you guys are getting a lot of feedback noise from outside. It sounds like they're doing construction, which is, just fantastic for the final social media bootcamp, just to have some background noise there. But all right, so we're in Hootsuite here, and I've got my tabs at the top here separated for things that I want to post to. On here I have FB because these are my scheduled posts for Facebook. Super empty right now, and it's been a busy week, so let's just go ahead and post to let's just go into Publisher. Let's go into Publisher. This is going to say, remember the things in Publisher we want to look at are past scheduled. So you go to the month view and you can see all the stuff that you've scheduled out for that month, and it'll show you by time and then like who you posted to and everything. So if you want to like say, okay, what did I post on? Because this is what you want to do. You want to have a consistent Monday through Sunday schedule. So if we look at Remax, let's say we go to Remax's Facebook. All right, so what am I doing here that's consistent? Every Monday morning, I'm sending out, good morning, SCV, have a great week. Here's a quote to get it jump started. So I send out a little quote just to start up the week for everyone. That's my first thing on Monday morning. And then on Tuesdays, I often will do like things to do in SCV or trending in hashtag SCV. And like, I'll grab something from either I'm grab something from either thesignal.com or scvtv.com or Hometown Station, something like that. One of the main websites for our valley. And I'll grab some like hot news off there and then I'll post it onto here. That's our Tuesday. Because Tuesday is really kind of like a mundane day of the week in terms of like a marketing thing. A lot of people are like well into their work week on Tuesdays. They're not just browsing on Facebook most often, at least it seems like. There's been a lot of tests done to find out when are the best times to post on social media. So that's where a lot of this information is coming from, the way that I'm scheduling on here. And then on Wednesday, I've got search for the newest homes, right? So this is a link to the official RE/MAX site, and it shows all the newest homes in SCV. That's every Wednesday. So notice how the theme for the day is the same, but the actual content is different for that day. So for Monday morning, I'm doing a quote, but it's a different quote every week, obviously. And then if we do Tuesdays, it's still trending in SCV as the theme, but we're doing a new news story for that every week. And then on Wednesday, it's searching for the newest homes. Well, there are always new homes being posted for that each week. And then when we go into Thursday, if you guys ever get a red block on here, it just means that the you need to re-enter the username and password for this account. You can do that by going up to your profile, which is in this top right left corner, the little owl with your name next to it. Just go ahead and hover over that, click on that, and then you go to the social media profile in there that's blocked out, and you can just re-enter the credentials and you'll be in again. That'll happen every few months or so. Then we have Thursdays. I kind of do different things on Thursday. Often it'll just be like a quick news story, either like real estate related tip for agents, because a lot of agents follow the page, or it'll be like home tips or design tips or things of that nature. Friday, we do want to see, and we do the YouTube post. So each week I collect all the YouTube videos that you guys post on YouTube, because I'm following all of you, and I add those to the playlist, and then I post this playlist on Fridays. Saturdays, we have another quick, this is kind of a little more lighthearted, fun posts, like more design and home tips, but they won't be like as businessy, I would say, as the Thursday one. It's more like weekend, you know, like let's just have some fun and post some good posts. That's what that Saturday's for. And then on Sunday, I'll do a couple posts on Sunday, but my main thing is on Sundays, I do every Sunday view SCV through the eyes of Instagram via SCV Life. So what this actually is a feed from Instagram of anyone that posts hashtag SCV Life. So check this out. If we go to this link, this is kind of like an online Instagram feed viewer. There are a few different ones. There's Iconosquare is one. This will do it for you if you just want to like go to the viewer. You can search. Let's go hashtag SCV Life. These are tags. Okay. So it pulls up anyone that's hashtagged SCV Life. So it kind of gives us like, oh, look at all those people that are posting in Santa Clarita and all the cool stuff they're doing, right? And that's obviously constantly changing. So let's see. Here's, you know, our version of that, which will actually probably will change that to Iconosquare, because I like Iconosquare better than Collecto. But same idea. So let's see. That's my Monday through Sunday for RE/MAX. For an agent, I would like it to look very similar depending on the amount of business you're doing. So if you are mostly selling homes and not listing homes, I would say that most of your posts during the week should be like let's say you're hosting an open house for someone, you can do that. Or let's say you want to write like design tips or stuff about the market in SCV. That's a good one too. I want to show you where you can grab some market info. There's a lot of spots, but you can go truly a market info. Let's see, hold on. Real estate data trends. Let's see if this is it. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to be pulling a couple things up here. Oh, here we go. Valencia, California real estate overview. So check this out. You can just grab, if you wanted to, you could just grab the link for this page and shorten it in Bitly. And you could do a little post that says, you know, market update for y'all in the SCV. And then you would, well, you don't have to, you can just grab the link from this page, which I will show you real quick. Go back to here, paste, this is the long link, truly.com, blah, 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 right? I did a little tall bar here to separate my copy from where the link's gonna go. I hit shrink, right here, shrink. So I go market update for you all, and then bam, this little guy here. And remember, we always try to, if we can, do SCV, whatever, homes for sale, whatever your email, your website is. And then you do your hashtags, which are all location based. Right? That's the post right there. Bam. I would grab an image. If you wanted to screenshot this page, we talked about this before. I would grab a little section like this guy right here, this market view or something, or the market trends. And you can actually screenshot little parts of this if you just Google how to screenshot on your computer. It depends if you're on a Mac or a PC. And that would be the image that you would add in here. And how do we add an image again? We go to the paperclip, we hit select files to upload, and then we grab an image off our computer and we will attach it to this. Let's go ahead and close that up. So for sellers, things like market updates or home design tips or home improvement, things like that, or maybe you can talk about areas. I think that that's a fantastic idea. Let's say you are selling some homes in Westridge. Say, hey, I'm selling some homes in Westridge right now. If you don't know a lot about Westridge, here's the get down, and you can just give them maybe there's 3 different tracks, right? And then on each of those tracks, you write let's say you go like this. Check it out. Track 1, and then you write a little bit about that, and then you go track 2, and then you write a little bit about that. Track 3, and then you write a little bit about that. So that would be great also. If you are selling homes, I'm sorry, I think I may have messed that up, what I just said a minute ago. So what I was just mentioning, if you want to talk about small areas like that, we're trying to come up with content for people that aren't selling all their homes. They're more like on the buyer side of things, right? So you're trying to come up with content to tailor to your target audience. Because you don't have a lot of listings to post, that would be that. Now, if you're a seller and you're selling a lot of homes, you'll want to post listings as often as you can. And there are specific days which are best to do that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, preferably Saturday and Sunday. Why is that? Because that's when people are mostly looking. That's when we have the highest number of people in our audience online on Facebook at that time. Thus, your post will get in front of more people. So let's jump into timings. If we go to timings, best times to post on social media. We reviewed this before, but I want to review it one more time. So since we were just talking about Facebook, we have best times to post on Facebook are on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So super early in the morning. And then also from 2 to 5 p.m. Now, I've noticed personally that anytime that you post in the evening, you get more engagement, especially on the weekends. So that's why I'm saying if you want to post a listing, if you're going to do it during the week, you do it from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. or from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you're going to do it on the weekend, you do it in the evening, sometime after 6 p.m. Okay. This was all done based on like a large amount of research gathered. Twitter, best times to post is on the weekends from 1 to 3 p.m. Very specific, but you should be posting at least 4 times a day on your own Twitter. And we'll talk about that in a second. Google Plus, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. LinkedIn, 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 5 to 6 p.m. So we're noticing like a little bit of a commonality here is super early in the morning or kind of evening-ish, late afternoon. Not a lot of stuff like right in the middle of the day. So if you're posting anytime from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can go ahead and just cut that out. That's not when we're supposed to be posting. Why? Because most people are either at work, right in the middle of their work day. Why are we doing from 2 to 5 p.m.? I think people are winding down at that point at work, and they're starting to get on their social media, get on their phones, check out their Facebook, etc. Pinterest on Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So super late at night, people just hanging out on the couch on Pinterest. Got that one. Or on Saturdays, just right in the middle of the day right there. Then we've got a little infographic here that talks about all this. We'll go over it one more time. Facebook, 1 to 4 p.m. result in the highest average click-through rate. So that means that when someone sees one of your posts talking about interior design, from 1 to 4 p.m., they're most likely to click on that. On Twitter, 1 to 3, LinkedIn, Tuesdays through Thursdays, so any day of the week, okay. So if you were curious where this is, you can actually just find it on my website at truenorthsocial.com. You just go to here, scroll all the way down to the latest posts, and it says best times to post on social media right here. Click on that. It brings you to a long infographic describing all that information. And then let's jump right into Twitter. What did we review actually, you know what? Let's stay on Facebook for one more second. I want to talk about what kind of posts we're doing on Facebook. We're doing design, home tips, we're doing open houses, and we're doing listings. Now we said I would mention open houses on Fridays because that's going to prep them for the open house on the weekend. And then I would post again, maybe 2 hours before the open house on that day. So post like, warning post, which is on Friday. And then let's say it's on Saturday afternoon, you post on Saturday morning, or it's on Sunday afternoon, post on Sunday morning. Open house listings, post on Saturdays and Sundays if we can. Then we have Monday through Thursday open for us. And what are we going to post on those days? We're going to either do market reports, we're going to talk about areas in Valencia, we're going to do local news, or we're going to do third-party content like design tips, home improvement, etc. Where do we get all that information? In the most efficient way possible, Feedly. We talked about this in one of the classes already, and Feedly is basically a site that brings you input all the websites that you like to get content from, and it pools all that content into like a streamlined news feed, and then you can look through all of it in one place as opposed to going to 25 different websites. So talk about a time saver. I don't have to go to hgtv.com and then go to sunsetmagazine.com and then go to Zillow and then go to Trulia. I just have to go to feedly.com, input all my stuff under a section I call real estate. And then I click on real estate right here, and it's all my real estate news. Bam. All ready to go for me. I would schedule at least 2 weeks out on Hootsuite. And when you're on Hootsuite and you're posting a regular third-party content post, you're always posting to the Facebook official page, your personal page probably, your Google Plus, and your LinkedIn. Okay, guys? Why are we leaving Twitter out of that equation? Because it is, sometimes I do post from here if the character limit is super short on a post I'm posting, or else I'm going to use Twitter feed. So now we've talked about social media timings. We talked about what kind of content to post on Facebook, and now we're going to jump into Twitter. Here's the main thing I want you to remember for Twitter, and then you can go back and watch this in the Twitter class, Twitter feed. This talks about how we get automatic posting onto Twitter. So if you go back to the Twitter class, this will give you all the information on that. That's all I'm going to say about Twitter, because it is a long-winded explanation. And if you just go back and rewatch that class, it'll give you all the details regarding that. YouTube. On YouTube, let's see, guys. Main things we wanted to talk about are getting the view of your YouTube channel set up correctly, as well as one more thing I wanted to mention, and I will actually do that in just a second, is how to auto post from Tour Factory to YouTube, so you don't have to do it yourself. Because I know a lot of you are using Tour Factory if you're posting, listing videos on here. So a main thing is here, a lot of times you'll go to, you need to rewatch part of the YouTube class, which is definitely a great idea, but also how to get this view set up correctly. How do I have like all these images like this set up here, and these set up like up and down this way on these columns, and then all these playlists set up here? The way that you do that is you go into this little corner right underneath all your social media links that you've added, edit channel navigation, and you want it to be in the browse view in this top section right here. So that's super important for your channel. And let's jump into Tour Factory real quick, which we haven't actually reviewed yet, but I'd like to go over this. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I can get into here. All right, so the way you do this is you go into so check this out. If you go into social media and connections, which is under your account information, you can just click on right here. Congratulations, you have to authorize it onto your YouTube channel, and it will automatically post to that. So that's a big tip for YouTube right there. Now we're going to jump from YouTube. We're going to go into our next section, which is going to be Facebook ads. I want to review that as well. So for real estate in particular, how are we making ads? This is the easiest way for me to show you. Number one, rewatch the video, right, for this, but also search for Christina Etheridge. She's a contributor at Inman.com, which is a huge real estate resource that you guys should be utilizing regularly for news, for tips, for marketing tips, all sorts of things like that. And she talks a lot here about ads. So if you scroll through some of her posts, we'll go back a page. Stop failing on Facebook, 8 ways to rake in real estate leads. She talks about ads in there. A step-by-step guide to a successful real estate content calendar. Fantastic for what we just talked about, right? A Monday through Sunday schedule. And how to run an awesome Facebook ad campaign that brings in real estate leads. Straight up, straightforward. Talks about it right here. Runs you through all the information you need to go through. So one more time, what is her name? If you have a pen and paper, I would write this down immediately. Christina Etheridge. Zoom in on that for you guys. Christina Etheridge. So she is great in terms of a resource for real estate and social media. Cool. So that's going to be it for ads. I want to move on to Instagram and talk about some things on there. So on Instagram, we should be posting, obviously, whenever you get a listing. If you only have a couple listings, you can post different images from that house. And let's see, I want to pull this up real quick. Okay. So other things that you can post on Instagram are like areas. Pictures of Santa Clarita is a huge one. Pictures of Valencia, Canyon Country, Saugus, Acton, Agua Dulce, all that stuff. You can post all those kinds of images. Just Google them, repost them onto here. If there's a source, like who took the picture, I would add them as like, hey, via colon and then whoever took the picture, which will often be noted on like in like an area over here or something like that on Google. But I also want to talk about how to auto post from Instagram to Facebook and Twitter. Now, I don't know if I would call it auto posting. It's actually fairly manual, but you're not going into Facebook and Twitter. So let's say here's your phone, right? And you have Instagram open. You choose your picture and then you choose your filter and then you write in your caption right here. And then you go share Facebook and Twitter. And if you go into the settings on your Instagram, you can link your Facebook and your Twitter. And then you hit share right here, and it will automatically share to Facebook and Twitter. So let's say you're doing this every other day. I mean, you're really going to start building up a great Instagram profile, which is basically the next step in social media from Facebook onto, this is going to be the next, if it's not already, the biggest social media platform. So another thing for Instagram, Instagress.com. All right, so give me 1 second. Anyways, Instagress.com. And I'm gonna open this guy up here in just 1 second. Got a lot going on the computer right now. So, bam, Instagress. This is it right here, guys. And you're going to sign up for a thing. You get 3 days for free. And then after that, it's like $2 for 3 days, $5 for 10 days, $10 for 30 days. What this does is gets you followers and likes on Instagram. Please rewatch the class in which we talked about this, and you will find the whole, the entire like kind of tricky way to get real, actual followers and likes on Instagram. Pinterest actually was not the longest class, and what we mainly talked about on Pinterest was talked about what is it that is great for a Pinterest board. Is a lot of boards, right? A lot of content on here. And then we talked about how to get followers, and the way we do that is we follow a lot of other people to get followers back. So let's now go into LinkedIn. And what was our main goal on LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn, the main tips are always to be using Hootsuite to post content to your LinkedIn. And then you want to make sure that you format your resume to basically accentuate all your positive attributes and like your work experience as best that you can. Like, let's brag here. Let's really, it's not an official resume. It's just a website. And, we want to always add our skills and endorsements on here so that other people can get on here and give you, basically what they do is they click on, yeah, I'll endorse him for social media marketing, or I'll endorse, blah, 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 real estate agent for short sales or foreclosures or listings, etc. And we also want to make sure we have this 500 plus connections. And how do we do that? We add a lot of followers. So on the LinkedIn thing, on the LinkedIn class, I show you how to do that in the most efficient way possible, which is from your phone. You log into your account on your phone and you go into, people you may know, and you just start adding all these people. All right, so guys, just as a wrap up, now that we've covered, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, we've talked about ads for a second, Instagram, Pinterest, Google Plus, and LinkedIn. Probably took us all of 5 to 10 minutes just to kind of go over the general hot things that we talked about on each of those. So let's get out of here and let's talk about some of the tools that we've reviewed along the social media bootcamp timeline. So Feedly, this is where we're getting content from. Twitter feed, this is where we are automatically posting to Twitter from RSS feeds, which we review in the class. Instagress, how to get followers and likes on Instagram. And Bitly is our link shortener whenever we're not shortening links automatically in Hootsuite, because it has its own link shortener in it. So this is really like our Basecamp Hootsuite. Like, I can see everything I'm posting, and I can really get consistent posts for like every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I know the times when I'm posting, which we also mentioned just a minute ago on my website. If you scroll all the way down to blog posts or latest posts, click on best times to post on social media. We have this here. If you just want to Google best times to post on social media, most likely an infographic like this will show up. Now let's talk about some other tools. Canva is a good one. Free little tool that you can create images on. So this is for like a gym I did. How to do Frankenstein, which is basically like a squat, but what you can do is you can add text over images. So let's say I want to do like let's go back to Canva and let's go to, that's canva.com, by the way, right here, Canva. I want to do, I don't know, a poster, whatever. I click on that, and what I do in here is I add an image. Over here on the left hand side, I hit upload, and I upload, let's say, oh look, I'm going to upload this house image, and I'm going to stretch it out. Actually, you know what, we should do a different style. You guys get to see that again. Facebook post, formatted perfectly for Facebook. Go over here to the left, click on house, click on the image of the house, sorry. And then we go into layouts in the upper left, and I want to add in, what do I want to add in? This is, oh, whoops. All right. So check this out. It's got all this text on here already for you. Let's say you want to do open house. And then, John Smith. And then we go into here, we go 4965 West Lake Drive, Valencia, California. Enter. From 1, 2, 3. Okay. Something like that. If you want to, obviously, we might have to darken this picture in the back to make this show up a little bit better. If we want to filter it, we can just go brightness, take that down. Take that brightness down a little bit, and then you can see what you wrote out a little bit more. So what does Canva do? It gives you awesome little overlays. And I've talked about tools for this on your phone as well. If you're just trying to make posts on the fly, it's called Over App. Same idea. Over App. Right here, you just Google this on your iPhone, and it'll bring it up for you. And you can add text and artwork to your photos. This one has in-app purchases, but totally worth it for 99 cents. You get a bunch of different fonts and things like that. All right, so we talked about Feedly. I just like to keep reviewing over everything. Feedly for content, Bitly for shortening our links, Canva, which we just talked about for adding text over images. Then we do Over, which is adding text over images but on your phone. Now I have another one for you, Crop VS app. Let's say you have a video that you want to add onto your Instagram, but it's just all out of whack and you can't fit it all on there correctly, and you want to add maybe some text over the video as well. Crop VS will do it for you. It'll pull, basically it crops your video into a square. So like, let's say you have a real widescreen video. Well, number one, you need the actual file of the video on your phone. And there are multiple ways to do that. You can get a YouTube downloader. You just Google YouTube downloader, and then you download your YouTube video. And then you would email that to yourself and then save the video. Or you can use Dropbox. You can add that file to Dropbox, and then from Dropbox on your phone, download the video file. And this will edit. See how you can see here, you can pinch the video down into the right size to post on Instagram, because Instagram is always square shots, not widescreen. Next, we have Camera Plus. If you haven't heard of this by now, I would find that pretty crazy. Basically, I would say it's probably the top image editing software or app for your phone. I do believe it is on Android as well if you don't have an iPhone. But basically, it has a few all different kinds of settings to help with making images better. So let's say you're in a house, like a new listing, right? And you're just trying to get a couple pictures up on the MLS real quick. Well, this is really like a great way just to make those look slightly better. So if you can see here, let me zoom in real quick. There's a thing on here called Clarity. It's actually the first setting available on Camera Plus. When you have it open on your iPhone, you add an image to it, right? Look at the before and after here. See how dark this is? What it does is it brings out all those shadows, highlights them all and brings them out, and evens the brightness across the photo. So your before and after, I'm talking like a world of difference. Every time you take a picture, you should be using Clarity to an extent. You don't want it to be extreme. If it's already pretty bright, it may overdo it. So Instagress, we also talked about, which is getting, again, I just like to keep repeating myself on this one because I really want to make sure that you guys know, like, what are the main tools that I taught you to be the most efficient in terms of your social media management. And then our last but not least, and always come back to, Hootsuite. If you do anything at the end of this social media bootcamp, I want you to have Hootsuite. I want you to have all your accounts hooked up into it. So we did a class called scheduling, and that's what this is, the scheduling class. Once more time, the scheduling class. So you find Hootsuite online, hootsuite.com. You sign up for a free class. A free profile. Register all your social media profiles into it, and then create on the main page here streams and stuff. Now, if my class on scheduling wasn't slow enough for you, and if you don't want to keep rewinding and going back and forth and it's still too difficult, there are all sorts of videos on YouTube of how to use Hootsuite, and I'm sure they even have their own that will take you through it. So this I really want you guys walking away with, and I want you guys to have, I'm going down into Publisher here. That was Streams. This is Publisher. I want to see your month over here on the right-hand side view scheduled out for at least 2 weeks in advance regularly. So you have your Monday through Sunday. And what I found is posting every other day is okay. If it's just a little too much for you to be posting all the time, and maybe you feel like you're bothering people, and depending on the type of content you're posting, that may or may not be true, but we've talked about that. Mixing things up, is a big part of not being a nuisance on social media. So if you're just posting posts about, the same old thing every week, like I don't even know, like buyer's tips and seller's tips, like constantly, it's like, okay, unless someone's like right now buying or selling a home, like that's unhelpful. So you need to really evenly post across on social media. So if you really want to just do every other day, I want to post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, just post every other day of that month and just get that scheduled out. You're golden. If you can do, I guarantee you, once you have the internal workings of Hootsuite down on like how to compose a message, who to post it to, how to go back and forth between the tabs on the left-hand side here, and you can get a month scheduled out, and gosh, it should not take you like more than an hour, especially if you're using Feedly to get content from. Your Twitter is all taken care of because you've watched the Twitter video on how to set this up correctly, because you will end up with a very spammy, quote unquote. You'll be posting too much nonsense on Twitter if you don't watch the class on like how to only post every 6 hours and how to only post like every maybe 12 hours sometimes, but not constantly posting, because it will, if you don't set this up correctly, post all the time. So you need to be careful with this. Instagress, this is going to be on Instagram, also very careful to not be spammy with, so need to watch a video on this as well. But yeah, I would really like to see most of you guys walk away from here with Hootsuite set up, all your accounts registered in it. I'd like to see you be pulling content from Feedly and grabbing your listings and open houses and posting those correctly and in a beautiful way if you can, using Canva, using Over on your phone if you can. But let's not just post regular stuff anymore. Let's step it up a notch and try to make stuff look cool. And you will get more engagement that way, I guarantee it. I just want to review my notes here and make sure that we're not missing anything. We had a whole class, most of a class, talking about Google Plus and how that's beneficial for you. It's going to be SEO is like our main thing for that. So what is SEO? It's search engine optimization. It means when I go and I search John Smith, real estate Valencia, he shows up right away, right? So we want you to show up right away when someone's Googling you. And a big part of that is going to be your Google Plus profile, which is linked to your Gmail if you're using a Gmail account. Yeah, guys. So I think that what we've done here is giving you the basics and even some more mid-level and to advanced applications that you can be using, like these ones I'm showing you right here, that will really get your social media profiles going on across all platforms, and be a time saver for you. I know how like daunting social media can be. Even what I just went over for this final class, like wrapping everything up, I mean, I would think that if you're brand new to this, it just seems like too much, which is why I just want you to get a Hootsuite account, get your profiles logged into here, and get some posts scheduled out and make, test the waters with it. Watch a couple of YouTube videos on the Hootsuite and make sure that you're utilizing it correctly. But I'm telling you, if you just do this for a while, a few months down the road, it's going to be no big deal for you, and you're going to always have stuff consistently being posted. And one final thing to mention as well, I went over in the Facebook class, is we're not just pushing content on social media. We need to like reply to other people as well and reach out to other people as well. So on Facebook, what we did was we created lists and we said potential clients on that list, which we can go ahead and look up right here. Facebook. Groups down here on the left hand side. Groups, click on groups. Oh, not groups, I'm sorry. I have mine set up differently. So, but anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to be creating lists of people, right, that are helpful for us to reach out to past clients and future clients, and liking people's stuff on Facebook, commenting on people's things on Facebook. And, that's going to be a huge part of this as well. We can't just constantly be like pushing content out to people and hoping that they respond back. So with that said, I hope that as soon as you're done watching this video, you immediately go to Hootsuite.com and register and and attach your social media profiles to that. Real quick on how to do it. Once you're in Hootsuite, upper left-hand corner, you can click on the owl and you can add social medias this way. Or you can go into the right here, add social network, bam, connect them. So you get into your Hootsuite account right here, add social network. I just want to zoom in on this one more time. Add social network. And then I want you guys to connect all these and then maybe post a week or two of content onto each of your social media profiles. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me for all these classes. For those of you who consistently logged in and watched live, I really appreciate that. And I will get this playlist out to you guys ASAP, finalized via the all agent email. So if you don't receive that in about a week or so, let me know, and I'll make sure I get that to you directly. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.